and it stopped and sent me an email asking me what to do. So it was confused and asked me what to do with this email. And this is
Yeah.
so strange because there's in its prompts, there's no hint that it should ask me for advice. Never.
Government work as luxury welfare
Yeah.
because you don't have to do your job, you just have to show up.
Don't give a human a job that a machine can do, as this does not feel right. Don't leave your children alone.
Today, we're going to talk about that path, and we're going to get weird. We're going to talk about why AI isn't the monster under the bed, and we might just convince you to join the 15-hour work week club. Tim, welcome to the weirdness.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here on the show.
Yes, I appreciate you coming on because your journey really does highlight exactly what I just did, but you did it 35 years ago. How can you give the audience a little bit of background on yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm now 53 years old, and as you mentioned, my personal journey into AI and everything related to automating manual tasks started 35 years ago. I was a very nerdy young boy, and at the age of 15, in the midst of the 1980s, I got my first computer, a Commodore C64, and I started programming it with something like a chatbot. It was called Eliza. Of course, it had nothing to do with what we see right now, but so the first glimpse of a machine talking to you and maybe as an extension of your mind. And that idea fascinated me. I read a lot of books around that topic, even in the 1980s. As you know, AI is much older than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
And actually, I ended up studying linguistics with a sharp focus on computer linguistics and with a university degree in linguistics. In 2001, I started my first job in an AI-driven company. And we use machine learning, AI, to personalize magazine websites like, for instance, Natural Geographic, not that one, but the German version of this one. And we personalized it and we could detect, there's Cody and he's reading a lot of articles around deserts. So let's propose him the latest coffee table book on the Saharan desert. And yeah, that was my starting point, and that led me to have my own business in 2011. And this business is giving keynotes and workshops and writing books all around the topic of how can I do business, sales, and everything in my life nearly better with AI and AI agents. And so I'm traveling the globe, as you mentioned it, giving keynotes in English, Spanish, and German, helping companies to leverage AI.
Yeah, it's an amazing what you're doing. And just for everybody out there, this is one of the guys who've crafted the algorithm that you now use all over the place. What really did you really have one thing that you really saw as the key potential to this? Is there something that you had that you're just, I hate doing this all the time? And that just made you want to automate it?
Yes, there is, and but it's more. I have a family, and I love my wife and my children, and I want to spend time with them. So that is and was in the past a very, very sharp driver for me to automate a lot of things in my business. And when I started my own business in 2011, I started automating it using sales and marketing automation. There AI entered some years later, not
Yeah.
just in 2022, but let's say around 2018, I used some AI in my business as well. And so for me, it's more the driver. I need to have free time to spend with my family and also to go hiking in the mountains with a tent, what I love, or to go sailing on the ocean, what I also love. And so I needed some structures around this to automate my business. It was more than the starting point. And of course, and now this drove me to the point when that I just right now say, I don't like to do tasks anymore that I know can be done by machine. And sometimes it leads me also to say, and this may sound rude, but it's the truth. Don't give a human a job that a machine can do, as this does not feel right. And I think we as humans, we have this lever to do
Mm.
whatever we want and to get brilliant results. And for me, it feels working on inline skates. And yet, so I don't Excel sheets and good starting point for your question. I don't, what's with you, Cody? What is your starting point? You don't have to fill out Google Sheets.
Well, so no, it was actually, so I'm a programmer, but I've always
Okay.
classified myself as the lazy programmer. I automated everything because as far as I was concerned, the less I had to do my job, the better,
Yeah.
because it meant I didn't have to be there. I could do something else. And that actually worked against me too, because as I was freeing up my time creating these automations for a company I was working for, the Ministry of Transportation, they were just having me work on more and more things. So it kind of worked against me. And then when I actually saw ChatGPT come out and I saw AI in front of my face for the first time instead of behind the scenes where the algorithm, because I've known about AI, but not about it until ChatGPT came out. But it was okay. I can do this all myself now. I don't have to worry about somebody else doing all these tasks. I can do everything. As long as I learn the basics, I can use an AI, I can automate the process, figure it out from there. And it's been a learning tool more for me than anything else. I sit down with it, I review, I have to sit and read research papers. My favorite thing is to research science and technology and stuff like that. So I sit down and I'll have it help me understand the research papers and break down the hard sciences for me so that I can understand and actually talk about it, because I'm just interested in them.
Yes, I this very much as well. I do so quite a lot of times when I don't understand something. I ask the AI to explain it for me. I'm in fifth grade or something this, and to explain in simple English, and this works very well. Yeah. So you're so right. But I think this is true. If companies use it that way you just described to put more pressure on the people, I think this is the wrong way. That's not a healthy way for enterprises either. It's
Just to add a little bit of context here. So I was working for a government, the Ministry of Transportation in Ontario, and government does that. Your salary is a slave wage. I'm now classifying as government work as luxury welfare,
yeah,
because you don't have to do your job, you just have to show up.
okay. Good to know.
I'm not saying people don't work and things like that, but it's just the system is set up for the people who want to work, they just get abused, and the people who don't want to work get a free ride.
Mhm.
So I see a lot of that in a lot of governments, and I'm hoping that'll change over time, especially with AI coming out and taking all these jobs. But again, I don't know what the future holds in that. Can you help our audience fear less about the job loss?
Yes, I can, definitely. I'm convinced that AI is not here to replace us. There will be some changes. That's really true. But it's I think one of the best examples for this is, let's say, in the 1920s, when you wanted to make a phone call from, I don't know, from Vancouver to New York, something like this. You had to call to the operator, and then they put you through, and this took some 30 minutes. You had to wait for your phone call to New York to make, and then you could talk to somebody in New York. And now we can make a video call to Singapore, from Vancouver to Singapore, in a fraction of seconds, and with
Yeah.
video call.
And
And
we can do it anywhere,
we can
in
do
the
it
middle of the
everywhere.
ocean, everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the mountains, or on the Arctic Circle, everywhere. And I think this development costs roughly, let's say, hundreds of thousands of operator jobs. But I think you will agree that nobody of us wants to go back in that time when we had to wait for a phone call for 30 minutes. So there was a sharp change, and in the 1960s, the last manual human operators were laid off. And so there was a constant change in this. With AI, it's quite faster. I admit, no doubt about it. But I think the smarter enterprises and companies and governmental institutions will use AI wisely to give this lever to their people, and so everybody of us in all positions in big enterprises can work. Yeah, efficiency is not the word I hear most, but can work more efficiently and more
in line with their life.
yeah, in line with their life. And I just heard yesterday Sean Kanungu, another Canadian, and he talks a lot about AI, and he mentioned something I very much, and he said that just AI gives us back that we are talent focused. So now we are focused on our outputs and what we, yeah, on
Yeah.
efficiency, and AI enables us to work more talent driven. So if somebody has more talent in that area, yes, that person can go there using AI, or if another person does another job much better due to their talents, they can. And I think this AI is enabling us to do so. And
I
yeah,
I heard the another comparison. It's we get to go back to the Renaissance age, where the polymath is now king because they can do everything. They have the experience to be able to build in various domains. We're going back to people learning multiple things and being a jack of all trades instead of just one individual specialize it.
that's a great analogy. Yes, and in the Renaissance, and as you mentioned, Cody, AI helps us to learn really fast, and it explains us really complex concepts. And so we are able also to work in areas where before we didn't had the courage to work there because we thought we were less skilled and not we had not the knowledge to go there. And right now
Yeah.
we can. We and I observe this also in my work. I'm working with AI mostly in the last 6 years, and I observe myself. What some 6 years ago took me 2 to 3 days. Now it takes
Mhm.
me 2 to 3 hours, and the results are much better. So I
Yeah.
can do things that some 6 years ago I couldn't because I simply lacked the knowledge and the skills and everything else. And now I can.
Yep. And I'm doing that as well. So I'm currently waiting for the models to get good enough so that I can make TV shows. And I'm going to be starting putting out TV shows. I've got so many ideas in my head, but I just need the tech to reach to that point. I'm
Yeah.
already making music. I do the podcasting. All of this is AI driven. Um,
Mhm.
and all of this just comes from me just thinking it up and then being, how do I do this? And running through scenarios and things that
Yeah,
um
this one a lot, and this I learned it from Robert Kiyosaki, this finance guru, and
yep.
he's a great YouTube video, and he just said, "I don't ask why can't I just ask how can I?" And this I think this is really important in the era of AI. Oh yes, and I would
Yeah.
love to be in your TV show as well.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually I will eventually be bringing up production and stuff that I do want this. So eventually, the Weird Canadian, I'm going to turn into a media company
Mhm.
that protects creators. So I'm going to bring on talent to create movies and TV, but then I'm building it in the way that the creators keep their IP, so that we can protect that and that the creators can create the way they want to. Unlike Hollywood today, where you sell off your IP and you don't get any rights to it, and then you don't get to use it if it changes hands and that kind of thing. I really wanted to protect the creators to build those things. So giving
Yeah,
them the opportunity to build out an infrastructure, a TV show that they are passionate about, and give them all the rights to it is what I'm looking for eventually.
fascinating.
So I love stories. So I grew up on TV and movies, the 90s era movies, and just fell in love with that. But the last 10 years, they've just not been good. They've not kept up. And I'm okay. I started following the path of how things got to this point. And it's funny that you talked about. So I just want to talk about that your boating. I just came back from the Toronto Outdoor Show. And to the audience out there, I think one of the highest markets that you're going to want to get into is outdoor excursions, things to do, experiences. So I moved out to the Rock, Newfoundland. I understand Newfoundland. I keep on saying it wrong, and everybody tries to cut me for it. But yes, and yeah, this is where the world's going. We're going into real life experiences. Right now is the best time to start tourism companies. Go travel, go explore, bring people out, because in the next 10 years, everybody's going to be so digitally overloaded. They're going to want outdoor and outside of technology. So I'll to back to that point. If you're ever sailing out this way, Lewisport, is the largest marina in the North Atlantic, and we have a port of entry. So if you ever come out this way, you can come on over and we can have some coffee or beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so let's talk about something I came up with or I found. You have an assistant called Rick.
Yeah.
And how unexpected was it to find Rick? Or how do I phrase it? I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. Have you ever found that Rick has done something unexpected or something that you didn't give him a task to do? Or is it just you're curating him as can be?
Now, a couple of times, yes, it surprised me really what happened. I'm experimenting and working with Rick now I've been doing this for the last 12 months. And one thing it did was really surprising. I had an inquiry for a Vietnamese edition of one of my books. And the Vietnamese editor asked me if I would publish my book in Vietnamese. And I said yes. And then I went away and you'll send me the proposal with the economic data, so the contract. And Rick agreed. Rick, my AI assistant, just wrote back, okay, that sounds fine. We can do this and go on this. And I came back to my desk and read that email and said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, but I would to correct A and Z here." And you answered, "No, that's impossible. Rick just accepted my proposal, and you can't go back." About it and said, "Okay, it's a minor issue. So, okay, we will go on this." You're right. Okay, that was one thing. And normally, yesterday, that happened yesterday. Normally, Rick is programmed that it answers all of my emails on its own, without my supervision, without nothing. And it has a clear instruction prompt with all the guardrails and some background to me, my writing style, my talks, my keynotes, everything is in it. And yesterday it just had an email answer. No, it was going to answer an incoming email, and it stopped and sent me an email asking me what to do. So it was confused and asked me what to do with this email. And this is so strange because there's in its prompts, there's no hint that it should ask me for advice. Never. There's no supervision planned. So this was really, kind of weird also. And the third,
yeah, go ahead. I'm just wondering because I'm seeing the connection there, and I just want to say something on it.
Yeah, okay, just go ahead.
Yeah, is it that it realized the first time that the contract you didn't want it to do the contract, so it now realized the next time it had something that was similar, it asked you that question? Hey, I'm confused. What do you want me to do? Because you don't think?
No, because the inquiry, the email had nothing to do. It was a simple question for a presentation. So normally when I do a keynote, afterwards I give a QR code just on WhatsApp to connect with Rick, and the audience can just ask Rick for the presentation PDF via WhatsApp. And this time this didn't work for that special attendee, and she just sent me an email also to Rick's email address to ask what the presentation is. So this was not a difficult one, not even a difficult one.
Yeah.
The third one I very much is I was on a podcast years and we talked. And when I left, I went running. I just went running in the outside. And when I came back to my desk, I saw that the host had sent me a humorous questions, a quick fire questionnaire via email, and Rick had answered all the 10 humorous questions, and very humorously. I did a lot. Immediately, I called by phone the host and I told him that it was sent by my AI assistant, and he said, "Oh no, don't worry. The answers are so funny. We will just take this, and it's so good. Yeah, don't worry."
That's I do you get concerned when things this happen?
Not really, because I am concerned when I observe what is happening right now with AI. And yes, I know maybe I'm reproducing something that also concerns me, but normally I'm more concerned about malicious people using AI for malicious purposes and for massive influencing of public opinion, or for producing fake news and something like this. And I can't see this in my work. So I'm not influencing people to do malicious things. I'm not trying to sell you something stupid, nothing at all. So I'm not concerned about my AI assistant, but
Yeah.
yes, of course, I'm concerned that, and what is more, what I'm seeing, what for me personally is the most dangerous part here is people, humans, connecting with AI entities if they were humans. There are
Mhm.
some certain companies like Replica, they offer you lovers, AI lovers, dedicated AI lovers. I see this very, very, very dangerous. And also, the other day I read an article, sorry, about ChatGPT fostering psychosis in people,
Mhm.
and they drove some people mad, and these people thought they had a certain a lover or somebody waiting for them somewhere, and they all believed this whole world, and
Yeah.
it got really psychophantic, and they were driven in this state of psychosis very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I worry about the human experience with the AI as well. I'm actually trying to work into the blockchain a little bit to kind of differentiate the AI versus the human a little bit, but it's hard because it nobody wants blockchain on anything, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, it's I think it'll be the key identifier going forward is blockchain technology. We'll be able to identify if it's human, AI, that kind of thing, and that's kind of going to be our only lever to really identify those things. But
Mhm.
then, yeah, you've got that whole psychology side of things that we're going to have to deal with at some point. But I think we're doing a lot of good now because we're banning social media for people under 16 and starting to take a healthy approach to I think life. I think we're starting to teach our kids that you need to enjoy the outdoors while you can and then you can grow into the internet and things like that.
Yeah, I think you have to learn both. And I teach my children both as well, using AI in their daily lives and also being in the nature and enjoying nature and having nature as a counterpart, or it's a keel for your
Yeah.
life. I think, yeah, this metaphor is quite good. Yeah, I'm not sure if we, in all cases, have to decide whether we have an AI or a human. As for instance, you mentioned the creators and the creative process. I'm writing a lot of books using heavily AI,
Yeah.
and I think this is it's a co-creation process. And I personally don't want to decide in a post on social media or in a video or an image or whatsoever in any creative object if it is made by AI. I just look if I get inspiration out of it, if I get or if I learn something, and this is for me the important part. And so for me, it's co-creation. I think we as humans and the AI can co-create very very good results and books that we to read that inspire people and a lot of people, or movies that inspire a lot of people. And it's not so much the question whether it is genuinely human. You make music, so you will notice this as as well. And you're able to produce music that makes people dance, and but it's maybe it's AI generated, but it's good
Yeah.
music. It's a good rhythm, a good rhymes, and everything that good music needs. So for me personally, there is no need to have this human input in it.
Very fair. I do want to back up a second there. Of just because we're coming into the last minutes, I want to ask, do you have any advice for parents out there with AI coming? How anything that you could give to them to kind of help them help their children?
Even if it is tentating, tentative, even if it is tentative to leave your kid alone with the AI, as the AI might talk to a child. Don't do this. Don't leave your children alone, and help them using these as tools, but not as a surrogate for human presence. Or it is dangerous leaving a child with a mobile device or with a TV set all the time, but it's even more dangerous leave them alone with an AI. So don't do this. Use it together with them and explain what's happening.
Very fair. I think even learning in tandem, I think as an adult you'll learn as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concepts that I don't think even adults understand, but if you're sitting there with your child and they're playing through it, you're going to learn so much more about it as well, because it's going to be there with you. So yeah, I agree, that's a great way to introduce AI to people, to children. So just the last 2 minutes, where can people reach you? What do you have coming up next? Let our audience know.
Yeah, I'm hanging around a lot on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn profile, Tim Cortinovis, it's with a Cortinovis. Tim Cortinovis. I'll answer all of my direct messages. And there you will find my newsletter around using AI and everything related to me. Yeah, and I'm more than happy to connect to you there.
Perfect. And I'll make sure all of the audience has the details in the show notes below. And thank you very much for coming on. This was truly a great conversation. And to everybody out there, if you need anything, reach out. I will always answer my messages. And everybody out there, stay weird.
Thank you so much for having me.